Hi guys, how are you doing? This is from techcentury and this is my hardware comparison between the Apple iPhone 5 and the HTC One. So to get started, probably one of the biggest difference between those phones is the screen size. We'll have a 4-inch screen here on the iPhone 5 with a resolution of 640 x 1136 pixels, which results in a PPI of 326. Then on the HTC One we'll have a 4.7-inch screen with a resolution of 1080 x 1920 with a PPI of 469. So we already see right here a way higher PPI and resolution on the HTC One. So we really see that Apple is falling behind with the Retina display technology, especially in 2013 with the arrival of all those full HD smartphones. Now when we talk about the cameras on the back, we'll have quite a difference. So on the iPhone 5 we'll see up top an 8 megapixel regular camera, I would like to call it, and then on the HTC One, so this is an ultra pixel camera as HTC likes to call it, or you could also say it's a regular 4 megapixel camera, but since it has a lower resolution, this results in more light getting to the sensor itself, and we'll take a look at this now in a picture to compare this. So I took the same picture with both devices, and here we see the picture on the iPhone 5. So this was inside of a church, and so we'll also see the same picture here on the HTC One. Now, while at first this really sounds like a marketing gimmick that the sensor gets more light on the HTC One, this is actually what I found to be true, because especially pictures in low light usually resulted in a brighter picture on the HTC One. Besides that, I can't really complain about the camera on the HTC One. It really lives up to my expectations and it's really similar to the 8 megapixel camera that you find on the iPhone 5, which is still one of the best cameras in any smartphone. And so I have absolutely no complaints. Even on a desktop, the pictures from the HTC One, especially in bright light, look amazing. When we're just taking a look at the design of the hardware itself, starting off with the iPhone 5, I really think that this is still one of the best hardware designs that you find on the phone market, especially now with the new introduction of this slate or black color. To me, the thing that I think about when I see the iPhone 5 is kind of like a stealth fighter. I'm not quite sure why I think of that, but I just think that really everything about the design just matches the phone really well. And that I just think that this is really a product that is completely well designed, has everything where you would expect it, and also the colors are just so that it matches perfectly. I know that's probably a little bit difficult to understand, but you'll see what I mean on the HTC One. Now, besides that, you might be able to argue that the iPhone 5 or just the iPhones in general haven't really changed too much over the past several years, especially since the introduction of the iPhone 4. But I really have to say that, in my opinion, Apple really got it right with most of their iPhones, and so there's not really too much reason to change, and just impressive how thin the iPhone 5 is. And also this metal back looks pretty sweet, even though I have to say I'm still not the biggest fan of this two-tone design, as you'll see it right here. Now switching over to the HTC One, I have to say overall I really enjoy the design of this phone. I really think that HTC did something that a lot of manufacturers should have already done a long time ago, with placing the speakers on the front of the phone. I mean, we've already seen that on tablets like the Nexus 10, for example, but this really is a great feature and the sound really is amazing. I mean, no other phone that I've seen can compete with that. Besides that, we'll also see an aluminum construction, and the first minute that I saw this phone, I actually thought, well, this could be the next iPhone, or this could be an Apple design, because this really resembles some of the design clues that we see, for one, from the iPhone, for example, these chamfered edges. And I understand that HTC even has to pay some money to Apple for copying their manufacturing technology. And also the speaker grills or holes that you see right here look very similar to a MacBook Pro. Now, besides that, we'll also have a notification LED up top here in the speaker grill that you can't see at the moment, and also a front-facing camera that has a wide-angle lens. I already did a video on that, and so I'm really happy with that overall. Now, if we take a look at the side or the bottom of the phone, this is where I have to say I honestly don't really like the design too much. So I somehow just think that this white doesn't really match the phone at all. So I would probably have preferred it to be black around here. I know that there's already also a black version of the HTC One, but I really like this just silver color of the aluminum and then still have it black around here. I think it would have just been a better match. Maybe I'm alone on this, but that's just my opinion. So on the back we'll see an all aluminum construction, only separated by those plastic strips for the reception, as well as of course the ultra pixel camera and the LED flash. And so from the back I really have to say, again, this looks like an Apple product. So for example, if you put it besides a MacBook Pro, this just looks like a product from the same manufacturer. And so this is a compliment, because I think that overall the design of the HTC One is just great. And besides those small gripes with the white bezel or plastic bezel around, I think it's a very well designed piece of hardware. So to wrap up this video, I really have to say that this is probably personal preference. There isn't really a clear winner. I have to say that every time I take the iPhone 5 out of the case that I'm using it with, I'm always amazed by the design, and also the HTC One really feels the same. And one thing that's pretty obvious to me is that Apple really has to catch up on the screen technology, because the Super LCD 3 panel with this 1920x1080 resolution on the HTC One is hands down the best screen that I've ever seen on any device, period. It's just amazing. I mean, the Retina screen isn't bad at all, don't get me wrong, but the HTC just steps it up one league further. And besides that, I think it's also pretty impressive how big the screen difference is. Even though you have a 4-inch screen right here and then 4.7, this really gives a lot more screen real estate. And so overall in the usage, it's just an even better experience in my opinion. And I'm not going to cover the software in this video. This is a whole different story. But I also think that the interface really matches the sleekness of the phone, if you want to say it like that, on the HTC. Really, the iris interface has aged over the past couple of years. And so let me know in the comment section down below what you think of those phones. Which phone is your favorite? I honestly can't really decide. Looking at this angle where I'm sitting at, I really say the iPhone just looks better overall. Just everything fits and matches. All the colors are great. And here I just see the white bezel that I don't really like too much. But both phones have a great design. So I'm really interested to read in the comments what you guys think. Besides that, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I kind of got my point across. If you're not already, please make sure to subscribe, and I really hope to see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.